Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Apologies, actually, one sec. That's better. So hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Yeah, you might be thinking, why the hell has Tal got sunglasses on her head? Because one, it is 8:15 in the morning. Two, it is raining outside. Three, why should be an idiot maybe? I don't know. I put my sunglasses on my head because I feel this has now become kind of a trend. Is trend the right word? I don't know. Because if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I tend to wear my sunglasses on my head regardless of whether it's raining, whether it's sunny, and I seem to like to blind myself by the sun and just wear my sunglasses on my head instead of covering my eyes. So I thought today we'd bring the lovely sunglasses out. Anyway, I thought I would do a little bit of talking again about another part of eating disorder recovery, which I've had quite a lot of messages asking me to talk about. I do get several messages a day asking me questions about this topic. So the topic is, I feel like each video is like, how many times can Tal say a certain word? And today's topic, last time was home, I think. So yeah, topic. So this topic is going to be on extreme hunger. Not everybody in recovery experiences extreme hunger, but it is more common than not to experience it, and it is probably one of the most anxiety provoking things that can happen in recovery. I have experienced it. So when people ask me, have you experienced it? Yes, I have. The first time I experienced it was probably 3 years ago or so. I was petrified. I just felt completely abnormal and strange. No matter how much I was eating, I wasn't full. I was like a bottomless pit. I was eating and eating and eating, and I was starving, and the pain that I experienced with it, as in physical pain, was horrible. My mum would probably remember I was sat at night crying my eyes out because I was in so much pain, and I'd eat and then I'd be like, I'm still hungry. I'd eat something else and I'd still be hungry. And I just felt horrendous. I'd be waking up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, crying my eyes out because of the pain again. And then I'd go down and have to eat something, which to me was over the limit that I allowed myself to. So the guilt that then came along with it just made the whole process even worse. I was on a meal plan at the time, so obviously having to eat more made the guilt stronger, made the anxiety stronger, and it was a horrible time. I thought it was never going to end, and I was panicking and asking people what to do. People were saying to me, no, go along with it, you know, listen to your body, do it. I was doing it and I was like, but it's not working. I'm still starving, I'm still in pain, what am I going to do? But eventually it did stop. I think mine lasted about a week, a little bit over a week and a half maybe. So when people ask me if I've experienced it, yes, I have. Secondly, when people ask me like what to do, the only thing you can do is listen to it and obey it. Don't try and dismiss it and ignore it, because if you do that, the longer it will continue and the more pain and discomfort you will be in. You've kind of got to think of it as, for however many months, years, weeks you've been depriving yourself of food, once you start eating, your body is going to be like, ooh, food, and it's just going to want more because you're already in a deficit. So for example, I'm just going to give random numbers, but say you needed 5,000 calories. Obviously I'm just throwing like numbers out so it's not triggering or anything, and you'd only be giving yourself like 1,000. There's a 4,000 deficit, and if you do that for weeks, months, years, you are going to be in a huge deficit. Imagine if that was money, the debt you'd be in. Wow. So over time, that deficit will build and build and build, and then when you start eating, your body's like, hang on a minute, I've got millions of calories lost over the past how many years, give it me now. Not only that, but you will have so much damage to repair, not just externally but internally as well, and it's more internally that the damage happens, and just because we can't see it, we often forget about it. So extreme hunger is kind of your body's way of telling you that it needs more food to repair itself and to make up for lost time, really. It can be very scary, and I know for a lot of people, as for myself, if you have a specific meal plan or you're calorie counting and have a specific number that you don't want to go over, when this happens and you feel like you need to eat more, you won't allow yourself to, because you'll be like, I can't, because I need to be under X amount of calories. I'm on a meal plan, that would be as an extra, and it's going to make me gain weight. No, restore weight. If you learnt from last week, That is the terminology you will be using. But yeah, so you have to look at the bigger picture and think of how many years, months, weeks you've been putting your body under strain. This is it making up for it. And in my experience, I had someone tell me a story which I found very, very helpful. So I'm going to share it now. A person I know who doesn't suffer from an eating disorder was pregnant, and during her pregnancy she was very unwell. She felt so sick and nauseous all the time. So the only thing she could really stomach were like fruit and vegetables, and that was it for literally 9 months. As soon as the baby was born, she was a bottomless pit. She told me that no matter what she ate, she was starving. So she'd have a full fry up, she'd have cooked lunches, dinners, desserts, she'd have a cake after every meal, and no matter how much she was eating, she was still starving. The only thing that a tiny little bit filled that hole was she'd have a bowl of porridge after every meal, and that's like on top of all the other things. She said she probably ate 9 months of carbs in about 2 weeks, and that was because for those 9 months, she had not deliberately been depriving, but she hadn't been able to eat what she was used to before she was pregnant. So obviously the body is going to be under so much strain and not have been fed adequately. So as soon as she now has the opportunity to and feels well enough to, her body is going to grasp that with both hands and be like, yes, please feed me now, make up for the lost time, I've got damage to repair, I need the energy, I need to give you the energy, so give me food. And that was for someone who doesn't suffer from an eating disorder. So for me, I felt quite at ease by her telling me that, because it was like, oh, it's not just people who have eating disorders. And it kind of proves that as soon as you put your body in calorie deficits for a long period of time, of course your body's going to be craving more, because it hasn't had the energy to do what it wanted to. It hasn't had the energy to repair things. Your cells need energy. As I've always say, your body is the most important thing to you. And without your body, you wouldn't be here today. You wouldn't be able to watch this video. So if you don't give your body what it needs, it's going to cry out for help. The most important thing is to listen to it. It is scary, but if you don't listen to it and you don't give yourself the food, it's just going to continue. It's not going to stop. So yes, it can go on for a week, 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks. I'm not sure how long it can last, but if you don't listen to it, it's just going to go on for longer, and you're going to get more distressed and more upset. So it's better to nip it in the bud then. And I promise you, once you start feeding yourself adequately and frequently, that is a huge thing, because if you don't eat regularly throughout the day, you can't regulate your blood sugars, so you will crash, and it might be then at night you will then want to eat more and more and more. So it's about maybe having smaller meals more regularly, or definitely sticking to the 3 meals, 3 snacks structure, which most inpatient hospitals do actually run by anyway. Again, there's a reason for that, and it's to regulate your blood sugars so that they are stable throughout the day, that you don't crash, that you don't peak and drop really suddenly, and that you don't have this sudden craving where you could potentially end up binge eating. Luckily, I've never suffered from binge eating, so I don't really know much about that topic, so I won't go into it. And also, I just want to say, advice and things I'm giving, obviously I'm not a medical professional, but this is just coming from first-hand experience, so I just wanted to clarify that. So as I was saying, best thing to do is to honour it. Allow yourself to eat that bit more. It's not going to make any difference other than help repair your body. I guess you could kind of think of it as that food, I hate the saying, but food is your medicine. Ugh. But I guess you could think about it as if your body was telling you felt unwell, like, you had a temperature, you had a sore throat, your stomach was hurting. You would then notice that you didn't feel well, and then you'd either go to the doctors, or you'd take some medication, or you'd rest, and you would listen to what your body is telling you that it needs to do to get better. So if your body's telling you you're hungry, why would you not eat? That's like being unwell, going to the doctor because you don't feel well, being prescribed medication, and then not taking the medication. You wouldn't do that. So why would you hear that your body's hungry, look at some food, then not eat it? And we do have to eat. It's simple, really. We have to eat. We all need to eat. Really, nobody deserves to eat, because it's a necessity in life. We don't deserve to breathe. We just have to breathe because we need to breathe to live. And also, another thing I did mention in my last video, which I'll quickly touch on now, is comments from people. And I struggled so much with this. So if you do too, I understand, I resonate, I get it. Comments from people. It's not even the comments really, well, sometimes it can be the comments. When people say you look well, I know your brain will translate that as you look fat. No, it doesn't mean that. If someone wanted to say you looked fat, they'd just say you look fat. That is not what they're saying. Well and fat are not synonyms of each other. If you don't believe me, go and check out a thesaurus or a dictionary or something like that. No, I mean, I did check last time definitions, so I might as well be a walk-in dictionary. Okay, one sec. So well can mean in a good or satisfactory way, or in good health. So as you can see, well doesn't mean fat. There was no word on there that said the word fat. So when people tell you you look well, they don't mean you look fat. I know for myself, when someone said to me, you look well, my brain would go, oh my gosh, that means that you look like you've gained loads of weight. They're basically telling you you look fat, now you need to lose weight. That is probably exactly what your brain's doing. All I can say is that is not true. Well and fat aren't synonyms of each other, so it doesn't mean that. For example, if my mum got told she looks well, she'd take that as a compliment and she'd be like, oh, thank you, because it's meant to be a compliment. It doesn't mean she's fat. It doesn't mean anything of the sort. Those type of comments from people are meant in a positive way. They aren't meant out of malice, and they aren't meant to hurt you. Unfortunately, a lot of people say these comments just like they would to any other healthy individual, thinking they're doing the right thing, when they don't realise that for someone with an eating disorder, that is not going to be the case. They aren't going to take it in a positive way. They don't realise how the eating disorder mind will switch and flick and change words in their sentence to make it into a negative way. It's fair enough, because if you say you look well to someone, you don't mean it in a horrible way, you mean it in a nice way. And unless you'd suffered from an eating disorder or knew someone who suffered from an eating disorder and understood that comments like that can be taken in the wrong way, you wouldn't think about it. We have to remember that not everybody's going to understand. They're not going to understand the way that our minds can change sentences and how it can actually fuel our eating disorder more. Another way you could think about it was if you felt unwell and you were like, oh, I feel awful, oh, I look really pale. Someone's not going to go, oh yeah, you do, you look awful. I'd be like, thanks. People will say, oh, don't be silly, you don't look that bad, you know, you look okay. And they say that to boost your morale, to boost your self-esteem. And that's exactly what people think they're doing when they tell you that you look well. They think you're going to take it as you look brighter, you look better. And that's all they mean. They mean it in a nice way. And sometimes they'll say that even if you look horrendous, just because they think it's going to boost your self-esteem, and they don't realise that they are really wrong. But we can't blame them, because if they don't understand, they don't understand. I mean, I've had so many comments like that over time and I took them completely wrong. And you know, I have had some horrendous comments made as in like, wow, you could tell you've gained weight, and I've been like, be right back while I go and cry my eyes out for 10 minutes. But most of the time people mean it in a nice way. They don't mean it in a horrible way or out of malice. It's nothing like that. Personally, I really struggled, I think, when people were telling me I look well when I was being told I was really underweight, because I was like, I'm getting two conflicting messages. Someone's telling me I look well when someone's telling me that I'm really underweight. And that's what I really struggled with. You know, professionals were telling me I was underweight and facts were showing that. Therefore, that's what I needed to listen to and look at. A comment from an old family friend telling me I look well compared to that really doesn't hold much, because they might just be saying that to try and make me feel better. And looking back, that's probably what they were doing. And also you kind of have to remember, potentially the last time you saw them, you may have looked a lot worse. They probably just meant it to try and make me feel a little bit better. And at the time, I could never see that, but looking back, I can. Just remember, comments from people, 9 times out of 10 aren't meant to hurt us, you know, they mean it in a nice way. And fat and healthy and well, whatever word like that, you know, they're not the same thing. So it is really about thinking about the bigger picture and remembering that not everybody understands eating disorders. And with the extreme hunger thing, you know, oh, the sun's coming out. I feel like I've gone really bright now. It's the reason to wear my sunglasses. Sorry, distracted. But yeah, with the extreme hunger thing, you've just got to go with it. Honestly, the more you try and suppress the feelings and dismiss them and not listen to them, the stronger the hunger's gonna get and the longer it will go on for. And it is scary, but it does come to an end. It does stop eventually if you feed yourself regularly and adequately. Again, I have no idea if that was helpful, so apologies if it wasn't. I have got quite a busy day today, so I might try and film bits and pieces. I don't really know what I'm going to make of this video. I mean, we had this little chit chat, but I don't know how long that's going to be. I would just film what I can when I can. But I have a hospital, no, I don't have a hospital appointment. I have a doctor's appointment. That's why I'm up so early, because I went to the doctor's for 8 o'clock to try and get an appointment for today, because you ring and you can never get through. So I'm going back to the doctor's now, and then I'm potentially going to see a friend, and then I'm seeing another friend later for some dinner. So I will just see what I can film. Again, I hope that was helpful. I hoped this video would be a lot more helpful, but I don't think it has been, so apologies if it hasn't. Thank you, and I'll see you later on. Hello, and I'm home, and it's a lot later than I thought. So I went to the doctor's, and they think I may have fractured a bone in my back. So I had to go to the hospital to have an x-ray, but it's one of those where you don't actually know until like days later. I've had that done, so it's a lot later, so I'm not actually going to be able to go and see Millie. I was meant to be seeing 2 Millies today, so I'm gonna have to go tomorrow instead. But I've just noticed an apple in the garden. What? Ew, it's mouldy. And there's a wasp on it. Nice. Yeah, so as I was saying, I've had to go to the hospital to have an, and I got to wear one of their really super like sexy gowns, so that was all fun. So yeah, I'm a bit behind. Oh dear, she's having a little drink, which is made of right now. Now I am going to get something to eat. I'm really hungry, I'm not sure what I'm gonna have. And then I'm gonna head off and meet my friend, Millie, other Millie, woo! I just opened the fridge and was greeted by this, and then I realised that we had to defrost the fridge and freezer last night. So I have nothing in other than grapes and milk and chocolate and half a sweet potato. But I've got cereal, so I think it's gonna have to be a cereal job today. I mean, this cupboard's pretty full. Yeah, we'll have a bit of that. Oh yeah, there is another jar over there. You caught me, you caught me. I'm now ready, and I could not decide what to put on because the weather is crazy. 1 minute it's really sunny and I'm like, these have a purpose. The next minute it's chucking it down with rain. Now it's really windy, and I don't really know, like my mum's asked me to peg some washing out on the line, and I don't want to because every time I go and do it, it then chucks it down with rain. So I'm just gonna leave it because there's nothing worse than having dry washing and then it gets soaking wet by the rain. This was a pointless conversation, but I mean, I'm growing up now. This is the adult life. We have boring conversations. I'm off to meet a friend who I haven't actually seen for I think 4 years. Crazy. So I'm really looking forward to that, and we're gonna go for a meal and we're having pizza, and I have been craving pizza for about 2 weeks, so I'm very excited for that. Show you a little bit of that when I get there. Also, you know how I showed you my fridge earlier, slash freezer? There was nothing in there. I had some cereal and grapes and peanut butter and Biscoff, and then I remembered I had some Blondies. So I ate 2 Blondies at 12 o'clock. Oops. So I ate 2 Blondies before 12 o'clock. But so what? It doesn't matter. I've deprived myself of food for so long that if I want something, I'm just going to eat it, because there is nobody stood there going, you can't have that. The only thing that might be telling me that is my head. And if my head tells me that, then I just go and do it anyway because it speaks a load of crap. Rubbish, absolute rubbish. Those Blondies aren't going to do anything to me other than taste awesome. So if you, right this second, are thinking, oh, we've got a chocolate bar or something that you really want and you haven't had it for ages, just go and get it and eat it, because nothing bad is going to happen. It's really weird because you always think that eating something is going to cause something bad to happen, but it's the complete opposite. Like if you don't eat, then bad things will come. In the spur of that moment, you might have that little, ooh, I haven't had it, I've obeyed my head, and ooh, I might lose some weight. But then that soon wears off and you're worrying about the next meal, the next snack. So that little mini triumph in that moment soon vanishes, and then it's worrying about the next meal, the next snack, what's going to happen then, or what's my weight going to do then, how am I going to hide this, how am I going to hide that. If you just eat it, nothing bad is going to happen. In recovery, you have to restore weight. That is the aim. Having food will only aid that, and even eating isn't going to make you restore like tons and tons of weight. You know, you're not going to eat a chocolate bar and suddenly balloon and gain 10 stone in one sitting. Like, that's humanly impossible. If you can do that, you will be in the Guinness World Book of Records. rewards, and I would like to see that happen. Nothing bad is going to happen if you have it. The only bad things will come if you don't eat, you know. You will continue to lose weight, which your eating disorder will think is a good thing, but it's not, because you'll just lose your personality, your sparkle, your life, your family, your friends, your freedom. You'll be forced into hospital. Then everything is taken away from you, and you will never feel more miserable than you will on the day like you're admitted or something you love is taken away from you. And that has all happened because you've lost weight and obeyed anorexia or whatever eating disorder you have. Whereas if you recover and you start eating and stuff, yes, you might feel guilt, yes, you might feel X, Y, and Z, but overall you will gain so much back. Positive things will come out of recovery. Nothing positive will come out of relapsing and listening to your head. So go and get that chocolate bar or packet of crisps or sandwich or whatever lunch or meal, whatever meal or snack it is now. Go and get it, enjoy it, and remember that you need it. That was my meal support for the day. Towels on meal support, people. I've just realised the time, and I've been sat talking to the camera, and my train is literally in a few minutes. Oh my gosh. Ah! How is it? Millie's happy, Biscoff, pizza, ice cream darts. Hello, and sorry for yesterday. I didn't really finish the video because originally I was going to see Millie, a different Millie, in the afternoon. I think I did mention, but I couldn't go because I was at the hospital. I went today and I've got so many treats for tonight. I'm so excited. But basically I'm doing a giveaway with her, which is going to go live tonight, and tonight's Saturday. So I'm hoping to get this up tomorrow. I haven't done any editing, but hopefully it'll be up tomorrow. So if you want to enter, just head over to my Instagram, and all you have to do is tag a friend in the comments, like the photo, follow myself and Millie at Cakes a Daisy. You can enter as many times as you want. You will then be put in like a random draw, and the winner will get a Malteser tray bake, a white chocolate and Biscoff Rocky Road, which is like my favourite thing ever, a Karamat cookie, a white chocolate cookie, a Kinder brownie, and a cookie dough round. Oh, so good. I went and got a few bits for tonight. So I got a red velvet and vanilla cake, a carrot cake cookie, a white chocolate cookie, a unicorn rocky road, and a Malteser tray bake. So go ahead, enter as many times as you like, and honestly they are so good, so definitely recommend that, and give Millie a cheeky follow. I hope this video, I can't really say it's been enjoyable because I didn't really film much yesterday, but I hope it was helpful in some aspect, and yeah, that's it really. My back is still horrendous, it's so bad. So I saw my physio today, who is incredible, best physio ever. Why can't I speak? Best physio ever, and she's such a lovely person. So thank you, Manisha, for, well, firstly sorting my feet out, which are now starting to play up again because my back's playing up because of how I'm walking. But we're going to chase up my x-ray results, but apparently with back problems x-rays don't tend to show much, so I'm hopefully going to have an MRI scan. I'm training all this week for my new job, which is price training, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it with my back, so yeah, oh well. It is what it is. I feel like I'm on Love Island. But I'm very excited because a week today I'm doing something again. But we won't say what it is. Hopefully you might get the gist what it is. We'll probably do another little topic video, and I'm gonna try, it's really hard with my training to like film like exciting day 24-hour videos, so I'll see what I can do, but I do have a few ideas up my sleeve. So thanks for watching, smash a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe down below, and actually I'm not gonna say it because I did have another person say it with me. I feel like now every video I need to have someone say my little catchphrase with me. People now just say it to me, it's great. So without further ado, we have one more thing to say. What's that, Millie? Keep smiling! Come here. Love you. Take care. Let me know when you get home. Let me know when you get home. I will. Love you. So that was Millie, one of my best friends, who I've known for about 6 years now, and we didn't see each other for 4 years. So that was her last night after our amazing meal, which was gifted to us by At Pizza, and it was incredible. That pizza was so good, and then we had a dessert pizza, and they put extra Biscoff on it because they knew I love Biscoff, and then he put extra Biscoff on the ice cream as well. Thank you so much, At Pizza, for that, and I love you lots, Millie. So yeah, see you next time, guys. Keep smiling. I was also having this conversation with Millie yesterday. Don't you think Biscoff, because you know it's called like Lotus Biscoff, it should be called Lotal Biscoff? I do. Comment below if you agree, and get Biscoff to smile.